Welcome to the All Financial Hour podcast with Steve All.
You know, Steve, we talk about a lot of information here on the show. You and I both do a lot of research preparing for the show. Some of the stuff we read is just outrageous. And it got me thinking about some of the myths of retirement. So get this. Forbes says one of the most common ones is that we're going to be in a lower tax bracket when we quit working. Is this true? Is this a myth? Talk to me.
I think conventional financial wisdom is what we really want to talk about. There's those things that we hear so often, we just assumed for them to be true. You're going to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. You know, when did it come about? Well, the 401k came about in like 1978. Tax rates were around 77% for the wealthy. And it was an IRS code that came in and said, these wealthy business executives, we're going to allow you to defer some of your income to later when you retire, because you should be in a lower tax bracket. Well, that's kind of how it all got started. Well, if you were in a 70 to 70% tax bracket, chances are you would be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. But I find out most of the people that we work with are in that 25 to 28% tax bracket, depending on the year that you were looking at. And they remain in that in their retirement years. Why? Because they developed a lifestyle. That lifestyle that they develop is going to take X number of dollars to get to it. The money that comes out of that 401k and IRA is taxed as ordinary income. So I got the exact same ordinary income if I want the exact same type of a lifestyle. And then we forget to look at those things like what happens to the tax rates when I lose my spouse and now I'm paying single taxes. Those people that are out there that are single are going, yeah, you married folks get a little bit more for that same income, especially if it's a one income family. And then what about when required minimum distributions kick in? Is that going to put me in a higher tax bracket? Because I believe that that is the most important thing that we have to look at. And having too much money in those accounts can cause you to be subject to legislative risk, because I believe that taxes have to go up in the future. You know, we've got so much debt. We can't pay it. When interest rates are this high, the interest on the national debt is unbelievable. So that we're going to have to raise taxes. And I believe that we've got 2 years left of the Trump tax cuts. Those tax cuts will expire on December 31st of 2025 unless Congress makes them permanent. And they're getting along so well, I'm sure they'll make something permanent real quickly. No, I don't believe that to be true. So that it comes from there. So we have it. So what do I mean when I say a too much money in your IRAs and 401ks? I believe that if somebody's got an extra large 401k, between $250,000 to $750,000, there's a good chance that you might spend those assets down during your lifetime. And if you have to pass them on to their children, that 10-year time frame that they have to take it out might not kill them too bad tax-wise. If you've got a double X between 750 and 1.5 million, chances are you are going to pass a tax time bomb onto your kids. You know, you're probably not going to spend down those assets. With 5 to 7% growth, required minimum distributions, you are going to pass it on. And if you've got a triple X, 1.5 or above, you are probably going to pass on a tax time bomb to your kids. Because they have to take it out in 10 years. It depends. If you have 10 kids, it's going to be a little bit easier. But if you got one or two, that child's going to get hit with a lot of taxes when mom and dad pass away. And I get clients that'll come in and sit down with me, and they go, Roth conversions really didn't make a lot of, quote, difference in my retirement because of the fact that they were going to be successfully retired either way. But the money that went on to their children because of those Roth conversions, their children get 10 more years of tax-free growth after the last parent passes away. That it has to come out of that tax-free shell. But it comes out with no taxes owed on it. So what are we doing? And a lot of people have said, Steve, I wasn't planning on passing any money to my kids either. Anyway, I said I wasn't either. But I'd much rather give it to my children than to the IRS. Mm-hmm. So if you're in that category, you got more than $500,000 in investable assets, give me a call now. Ask about the tax analysis, because I believe that reducing or eliminating taxes in retirement is the best thing that you can do for successful retirement. Now, I know that $500,000 figure, people will say, well, why do you put that in there? Because the strategies that we use for Roth conversions and the calculations work better if somebody has more than $500,000. Those tax calculations just make a lot more sense. So if you're in that category, you got more than $500,000 in your IRAs and 401ks, give me a call now. Ask for that tax analysis. Let's see what Roth conversions or other tools that we use in the tax arena can be used to assist you in passing on a more tax efficient portfolio when you're not here.
Yeah, more money in your pocket, less than Uncle Sam's. If you have at least $500,000 saved in your IRA or 401k and you'd like to sit down for this tax analysis and this tax planning session, give a call right now, 636-230-8824, 636-230-8824. Steve, you and we're usually on the same, path when it comes to some movie favorites. I am a big fan of Medea, Tyler Perry's movies.
Tyler Perry. Oh, man. I loved it, and went to the final at the Fox Theater. His farewell tour.
Oh wow, very cool.
Enjoyed it. I thought but the thing of it was, you brought him up, and we'll probably close the session with this. Have you watched that documentary that he has? And I think it was on Amazon.
It was on Amazon, yeah.
Amazon Prime. I watched that documentary, and I've seen almost all of the Tyler Perry movies. I think they're funny as all get out. Mm-hmm. I love Uncle Joe, probably the best. as it goes from there. But those Tyler Perry movies, and when he did the farewell tour, it's like, wow, it's kind of weird. He's got all these movies he's made for all these years, and now he's doing a show to say, on a Broadway stage. And when I watched that documentary, it was like, you got to be kidding me. Mm-hmm. He didn't start with Medea in the theater. He had been doing Medea in shows for all those years prior to making the movies about Medea.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I looked at it. I said, that man is tremendous. And I can't believe the studios that he went to, that latest Tyler Perry Studios down there in Atlanta. Yeah. That place is just unbelievable that you look at it. The man is a worker. God, is he a worker. And I think he believes everybody else should work hard too. Mm-hmm. So that is just tremendous. But that documentary,
if you haven't seen it, it's a super cool documentary. If you don't know his story, him, growing up in poverty and whatnot, he was living out of his car while he was still producing Medea in Atlanta, and then finally struck it big with a movie company, and it's history is as it is. But he does work hard. He pumps out lots of projects per year. I mean, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 projects, and that's why he's worth an estimated $1 billion. And a lot of people ask him, "Hey Tyler, when are you going to throw in the towel?" Well, he recently told Kelly Ripa how he pictures his retirement.
I think my retirement will be more like Clint Eastwood. Instead of doing 12 movies in 4 years, I'll probably be doing one movie in 6 months. Ideally, I'd love to be on a beach smoking weed, no cares, just smoking as much as I want, just getting as high as I've ever wanted to be, and just say whatever's on my mind.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, judge ye not, as we say here on the show. At least he's got a plan in place. Who knows? Maybe it helps him be more creative with the writing process. I don't know.
He's got enough money. He can afford to do that. That was probably the funniest story I ever heard from a client. How many days you got left to work? He said, well, I got 63 days left before I retire. And I said, what are you going to do when you retire? He said, I'm going to jump on a plane, fly to Colorado. This was in the old days. And I'm going to get stoned, because that was about the only place that was one of the first places to make it legal. But things like that. But no, Tyler Perry, I think that is the deal. That's his picture. And if that's what he wants to do, is I just want to sit on the beach and smoke a little weed, that's his deal. Mm-hmm. The idea of it is most people don't look at that. And I like to do it when people come in. What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What does retirement look like to you? What are you retiring to? And a lot of times when I ask that question, what's retirement look like, the couple will kind of look at each other with that deer in a headlight look, like, not really sure. We haven't thought about that. Because I'm going to look at it as you saved all the money you've saved for someday. Guess what retirement is? Someday. So what is your picture? Allow us the opportunity to help you get that picture of where retirement is. And what are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? And I believe that's my job as a financial planner, is to make sure that we can get you to your wishes, hopes, and dreams, if at all possible. Because that, my friend, is what retirement's really all about. Give us a call now. Ask just for a retirement review. Let's see where you're at. Let's figure out what you want to do in retirement and what are your chances of a successful retirement.
Thanks for listening to the All Financial Hour podcast.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG. All Financial Group, LLC is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG are not subject to investment advisor requirements. IPW and All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This radio show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. All Financial Group, LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by All Financial Group, LLC.